welcome to the first show of Yep, Yeah, Yes. I'm Marissa, and here with us is Tamika. Today we're going to talk about a few things. The first thing is the Me Too movement. Is it working or is it failing? Tamika, any insights?
Well, it's interesting that we had decided on this topic actually prior to the news that came out a couple days ago about Anita Hill having to step down from the Me Too organization because she apparently supported Bill Clinton, who we all know his past.
Right.
I don't know how, to me this sounded kind of foul. To be honest, I didn't do a whole bunch of research on it, but from the outset, it's something that makes me look at the movement as pretty much leading towards failure. Because the minute that you ask someone of Anita Hill's not only character, but
caliber as a person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you do something like that, that to me says that you've lost insight, you've lost sight of what your movement is about. And the fact that you decide, okay, well, we don't want her to be a representative of our organization, quote unquote, because of who she decides to support, to me, that says that you're failing and you don't really have a clear vision of what you're doing.
But now, hold on a second though. So her support of Bill Clinton. Now I get how people feel what he did was wrong. I understand. I don't want to get into that topic. But the idea, okay, it was not a minor. These were consensual things. I know people have different feelings and different viewpoints of it. I don't want to get into that. But someone like him, who really, it wasn't predatory in terms of a child. It wasn't predatory in terms of, they seem to be a consensual relationship. So if she's supporting someone like that and you ask her to step down, there's got to be, in my mind, an objective, an ulterior motive as to why you're asking her to step down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what that ulterior motive is, but it speaks to how not only this movement is going, but also how our society is going. If you don't 100% follow or agree with somebody's thoughts and views and so on and so forth, then you can't be you can't sit with us, basically.
Well, see, that's the thing. And what's to say, I mean, that's one of those all-encompassing movements. It's like when you say feminism. Certain people have preconceived notions to what it is, but technically feminism is just equal rights, the objective that we can all do the same thing. So, and then when you break it down into those specifics from there, I mean, there's devil in the details. But I read this interesting thing about an article on Me Too movement, and it's called "It's Not Sex, It's Discrimination." So I just want to read this quick. It's a little paragraph. The legal theory of sexual harassment as workplace discrimination was developed in the 1970s by Catherine McKinnon, a Yale-educated lawyer who wrote the seminal Sexual Harassment for Working Women, which argued for the first time that sexual harassment at work was a form of discrimination. It came in two varieties: quid pro quo, in which women are forced to exchange sexual compliance for work opportunity, and hostile environment, in which harassment is a persistent aspect of work life. It is not until the 1986 Supreme Court ruling in Meritor Savings Bank versus Vinson, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, so deal with it, that the latter form of harassment was outlawed as a form of discrimination. Now, when we look at what you were just saying,
what article was that from?
This is from, it's called Me Too is Destined to Be an Absolute Failure by Janet Gayon on January 2nd, 2018.
Okay.
So it was part of this article, but what I liked about that little blurb, it's kind of gives you an idea of how this whole idea of sexual harassment started and where it started, and the book Sexual Harassment for Working Women. So now, if we're looking at the Me Too movement, which is looking to empower and looking to bring light to things that perhaps that we didn't feel the strength to speak on our own. Now we look at somebody with the caliber of Anita Hill, and we're taking her down, what are we saying? Are we uplifting, or are we taking each other down?
It's a really interesting point to make, because in my opinion they are taking her down, and that leads to a failing entity. Like like I said before, you're gonna take down, of all people, Anita Hill. Come on now. Come on. I mean, I could see. Well, I'm not gonna start going out there and naming people that you could take down, but Anita Hill, really?
Anita Hill, for supporting Bill Clinton.
That's who you're taking down? I mean, it's completely ridiculous. I mean, if we would all be taken down from whatever position we hold in life, based on certain people that we hold to esteem. I mean, I'm still bumping R. Kelly, so do I gotta lose my job now because I like bump and grind? Am I now
well,
like?
I don't see nothing wrong.
Exactly. Exactly. So my point is that can you still support an organization, support a movement, and still support and like something that might have been a deterrent to that movement?
But see, here's the thing, though. That's the question. How is Bill supporting Bill Clinton a deterrent to this movement?
Because of what he.
But here's the thing, though. The movement is not supporting Bill Clinton. She did,
right,
based on her professional opinion.
Professional, really?
Professional.
No,
I was a professional. She was professional. Her professional opinion.
It's true, though. It's true.
But see, there's got to be. I mean, I know lines get blurred with any topic, but I'm saying when you got a caliber of depth and breadth of work of someone like her, and you try to ask her to step down, who's next? Everybody. You're using this movement as a way to sniper people down.
I mean, even I even see like there's this movement to take down Rose McGowan, and with her I'm like on the fence, because she said a lot of stuff that to me speaks to where this movement is going in terms of taking down women against other women. Mm-hmm. But does that mean we take her down because we don't agree with what she's saying? I mean, I don't agree with a lot of the things that she's spout, from, you know, having a lot to say about the Golden Globes with where they were in all black.
Yeah.
And she, you know, and then she said that Meryl Streep was complicit. I mean, at the end of the day, she can have these opinions, but is she also helping to make this movement go away and not really helping the cause? Even though she was one of the first people to speak out, is she helping?
Is that what do they call that? That crab theory, where if you put crabs in a bucket, they pull each other down, so to try to get up? Or if what's the theory? How does that go?
I don't know.
All these crabs are in a bucket and they're pulling each other down. Is it so if I'm staying in here, you staying in here too? So with Rose McGowan, I mean, she has so many things to say, and it's almost her tangents. I can't follow it. I mean, I support her platform. She has the right to say whatever she needs to say, just as everybody has the right to my opinion. But I don't know. Taking someone down and calling people complicit. I'm sure she has knowledge to things that I don't, but I feel like her cacophony of noise right now of the points that she's trying to make, it's not really helping.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like I was a fan. I never watched Charmed. I've never seen any of her movies.
What?
I know.
You never watched Charmed?
All right. Let's move on. I've known of her, and I know what she looks like, but I never, I never was a quote-unquote fan or supporter of hers. That doesn't mean that I don't support, her coming out and sharing her truth. At the same time, sharing your truth doesn't mean knocking people who may not have, who say that they didn't know. And number one, and number two, people that didn't speak out back then. Obviously, a lot of people didn't speak out for whatever reason. We live in a different society now. There's things that I wasn't able to say back 20 years ago that I feel very comfortable saying now. This is just the trajectory of our country and the way our society is moving. I don't think it's fair to hold other people accountable for things that they may not have seen as quote unquote wrong the way that they are wrong today.
Yeah.
I specifically take issue with her calling out Meryl Streep, not because I'm a Meryl Streep fan or anything like that, but because of the fact that Meryl Streep came out and said, I did not know. And it's quite possible for someone not to know. For someone,
it's very possible.
We all have been in situations. Well, a lot of women, I should say, have been in situations where, excuse me, where the conversation it's just between you and another person, but they don't have that same conversation with the next person.
Yeah, like the perspective, your truth of events might be slightly different than my truth of events.
Right, and then the other person, there's a third person that never had that kind of relationship with either one of you.
Yeah.
And so, but you're looking at them like, why you didn't say nothing? Like, well, I didn't know. And so for Rose McGowan to be all on people's cases about stuff, and they said they didn't know, I mean, you messing it up for everybody, you know?
So do you think they should have had a conversation behind closed doors?
Who?
Meryl and Rose?
No, because I mean, apparently after Rose called Meryl out, Meryl said she tried to contact Rose and Rose wasn't trying to hear it. So yeah, so it's like, you know, what conversation could there be? Like, they never worked together. Like, she's just calling out people just to use their name because she's the highest person that she can call out.
I just had a visual image of Meryl Streep with a hoodie and bamboo earrings and some Timbs knocking on her door. Yeah, I don't know why, but listen.
That's the character she has not played.
I know, but she wouldn't be a wrong choice. She wouldn't be wrong. That would still be good casting. I would love to see her in something like that, knocking on her door, be like, Rose?
Yeah.
Rose?
Yeah, that would be a little nuts, but anyway, I digress.
I want to throw a phrase out to you, and you tell me what you think. The male gaze. The male gaze to me is me walking down the street in Manhattan feeling incredibly uncomfortable because guys are staring at my every move, and as I'm walking past them, I can't hide my behind. I can't disappear. I'm just feel very uncomfortable. I'm wishing that there's a Rite Aid on the corner so I can grab some deodorant because now I'm perspiring. It's very, very uncomfortable. It's the gaze that you get when you're at a family reunion and your dirty old cousin, old man. Oh, that like, nobody lets them.
Hey, I haven't seen you. How you doing? Give me a kiss.
Nobody leaves their kids over. And when you walk in, like, you don't give him a hug, hello. He's that guy. So yeah, the dirty gaze. Oh, I added dirty to it. But what is your gaze? The male gaze. Well, the male gaze is the best way I can explain it is to give you an example. Let's say you're on Instagram and you're in, discoveries, right?
In what?
And, discovery, searching.
Oh, okay, right.
And you see a female form, whatever you find appealing, you see a female form in we'll say, bathing suit. But now you go to the next photo and it's a female form you don't find appealing in the same bathing suit. But let's say it is a bathing suit and there's the form that you like appealing has no body hair. But the form you don't like appealing has body hair. So that's disgusting and you report it. So the male gaze is something that's appropriate because a male finds it appealing. And when they don't find it appealing, it is inappropriate. So the argument would go, I can go out if I have a nice top and show my chi-chis to everybody, big old cleavage. But I can't breastfeed my kid in public because it's disgusting.
So you're saying the gaze on both spectrums?
The ideologies, the male gaze, yes, it doesn't have to just be a man. It could be visualized from a female perspective as well. But the male gaze is something that is appealing to the eye, so it's not disgusting and inappropriate.
Appealing to who?
To whoever, the beholder.
The person being gazed at or the person gazing?
The person gazing. So it is nice to see.
I'm not trying to sit here and fight for the gazer.
Well, this is what I want to talk to you about, the male gaze. Because here's the thing, though. There was a woman on Instagram, and her page got shut down because she took a picture of herself. It was like an artsy photo, and she had underwear bottoms and like a sweater top, and then she had like heels on, but she had all her pubic hair showing. She's not manicured, as some would say. But if you scroll through a discovery feed, you'll see 45 Instagram models with, a thong bikini and showing camel toe. But that's not disgusting because there's no pubic hair, because it's appealing to a man.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about the male gaze, we also think about how it is that we shape our society in terms of what's appealing and what's not. Instead of making it personal choices, we make it the broad spectrum choices. So I'll go to a beach in a two-piece bikini because it's appealing to others and I feel like I look good. Or I go to a beach in a two-piece bikini and I might not have a flat stomach, I might not have manicured lawn, as some would say, and it is disgusting and inappropriate, and I'm asked to leave. So
see, but I don't see that as a gaze. It's just about.
It's just an expression.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when I think, like I said, when I think about the male gaze, I think about lingering, eyes lingering, gazing, not so much, how one person looks in a photo as opposed to another. Somebody put together, photoshopped, as opposed to unphotoshopped, if you will.
Yeah. That's the male gaze. We look at Vogue magazine.
See, but I don't consider
gaze.
that male gaze. What is that? I don't.
Well, it's just a term. It's a term to denote how we pretty things up, because it would be more appealing to a man.
Okay.
Have you ever catcalled a man?
Probably in my 20s when I was drunk. I've done a lot of things back then that I wish I could take back, but I can't. So we'll discuss at a later date, but I got to make my amends and repent.
Why would you have to repent on catcalling? Just on things you've done.
On things I've done. Catcalling, I don't necessarily remember specifically catcalling, but I know how I was 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's highly probable that I could have like, hey, daddy,
And how do you think that those men perceive that?
Well, one instance, it wasn't necessarily catcalling, but I know I was inappropriate, and then I later found out the guy was gay. So my gaydar was off.
And it's
he wasn't very appreciative of it. So I apologized. Actually, I did it a couple times. No, he didn't like it, but he wasn't upset about it because he knew I was inebriated.
Funny how
I think you were there for both times.
Oh.
But you might have been inebriated and doing your own catcalling.
Yeah, girl. So it's funny that you say that, because so you mentioned that they didn't like it and you completely retreated and apologized. How many times?
No, I haven't apologized. I wanted to apologize.
But you retreated. You completely retreated. You didn't continue, and you didn't become vulgar.
Oh, no, I wasn't overly, I did it, and then just, kind of move on. Mm-hmm. And then, found out homeboy was gay, and it was like, oh, word? Oh, okay. My bad. So this isn't going to work out, is it?
Oh,
so I move on, and we go from there. The 20s. Or my 20s, I should say. But anyways, so what were you saying?
So I did this whole experiment back in my 20s as well. And I decided whenever I would go to work and come from work, they were doing construction on the road, I would roll down my window and completely catcall.
Oh.
Yeah, and they loved it. Problem was, one day there was traffic because construction. So they walked up to my window and didn't feel so safe. But they still liked it though. They actually, funny enough, the same group of guys I was catcalling, I walked into a 7-Eleven. I don't recall what I was purchasing. Perhaps a beverage. And they were there, and they were like, oh my god, it's the catcalling girl. And I was surrounded probably by 10 construction workers, and it was really uncomfortable.
What was uncomfortable about it?
Just a pack of men trying to talk to you, because they...
Even though you initiated it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, listen.
Sometimes this is a clear, ladies and gentlemen, kids and boys and girls, this is a clear indication of be careful what you wish for.
Because you just might get it.
Don't just be honking and catcalling.
But apparently they were more appreciative to have the attention than not, and they felt like their efforts towards others when they catcall.
Did you have this whole conversation with them, or you just made this assumption based on their...
Girl, you know I talk to everybody.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I had to know more. I had to find out where the ideology was. And then, the fears dissipated. Is that a word?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, the fears went away because I started talking to them.
Dissipate.
Thank you. I was using wrong context. But funny enough, so I got into a little bit of a fender bender later on, and those same gentlemen helped me out. They helped me find a reasonably priced auto body shop, and they spoke to the owner and let them know that I'm a young girl on her own.
So this is basically when catcalling and Me Too goes right.
Essentially.
So, because Me Too is also about the men.
Yeah, explain
being
that.
Objectified and meant to feel like
a piece of meat.
A piece of meat.
Is it bad that I'm glad that they feel that way?
I'm not one to judge. I'm just here to talk. However, I do want to judge one person.
Who
we both feel needs to be judged.
Go ahead, girl.
This guy named Justin Timberlake. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
No.
I watched the Super Bowl.
Justice for
I did
Janet.
not watch the halftime show.
Justice for Janet.
I took a knee. Shout out to Colin.
Took a knee.
But Justin, and then he had the nerve to sing "Rock My Body." Is it "Rock My Body"? The one, the song that got Janet.
Got that feeling.
No.
What?
Wanna rock your body, night and day. What's the?
I have you naked by the
Yeah, that song. He sang the song at the Super Bowl.
Oh.
After the whole, I'm just saying.
Oh, I swear for God.
And you know what else pisses me off about him? Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was a fan. You know when I became a fan? What was that black and white video they made where he gone?
That was a good video.
I was like, okay.
All right. I'm feeling it.
And I heard that song. I was like, he's leaving the group.
I remember you and I were in a vehicle. I don't know which one, but I recall you and I discussing this. And I do recall you and I thoroughly investigating his first solo album and quite liking it.
Yes. So I was a fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was definitely a fan. However, he's always been that guy.
The kiss and tell when he did that to Britney.
Yes.
Not Britney, bitch.
I'm like, you know what? This guy, he's that guy.
I remember he's
that
distinctly
guy.
looking at me like, yeah, but he kisses and tells.
Yes, he's that guy.
Oh, yeah, he's that guy.
So
Yep.
Nothing surprises me when it comes to this whole Janet thing and this whole like it's about me. I mean, this is the guy. Wasn't he dating Jessica? What's his wife's name? Jessica, whatever her.
Biel.
Jessica Biel and Cameron Diaz. Like it was like some mess
Yes.
going on. There's just certain guys.
Sloppy.
And then like there was this controversy. It's funny because I was watching something. I don't remember what it was, but they were talking about the fact that he had it was Rose McGowan, funny enough. She posted, she was on The View and she was talking about how he posted a picture of his wife. And he's like, my wife looks hot, me too. #me too.
What an idiot.
And so, to me, he got a lot of flack for that. And what happens? He releases his album the next day.
Of course.
So he he's the guy that like...
But he keeps capitalizing on all these slip-ups.
He gets away with so much. And it bothers me so much about him because the turning point for me, you would think, would have been all this other stuff prior to the Janet thing, but that whole Janet thing, but her having to get on TV, apologize, not being able to go to the Grammys, him getting all kinds of accolades, everybody working with him, like just not to say that her star definitely fell, but she's Janet effing Jackson, so it's like she's always
even her fall, she's still higher.
She's
than
still
most.
yeah. So I'm not gonna be like cry me a river, but at the same time, the vitriol that was thrown her way as opposed to his way is very polarizing. And I remember at one point thinking, was it a black and white thing? Was it a male female thing? You know what? It's both. He's just wrong, and he never really fessed up to it. She's never come out and been like, he ain't this, that, and the other. She's been a woman, like most women, just quiet and take your lumps and you move on. And that's what we all do. That's what every woman. That's when you hear all these stories about women coming out and confessing.
How could you go through all that? Because we've been doing it.
Our whole lives. This is what we've been accustomed to. But now, so like Oprah said, it's a new day.
It's a new day. It's
or
funny.
Something like that.
It's funny that you say that because I am a part of the care and raising of children, and there is a female and male in life that I have a hand in decision making. And one of the things that I do as empowerment is, that thoughtfulness of, if a boy is mean to you, no, he don't like you, he's mean. if a boy likes you, he's respectful. And the same thing for the males. If you like someone, you're respectful, you're kind, you're thoughtful. And I think about this little punk. Do you recall a Barbara?
Who, Justin?
Yes. Ew. You recall that? I want to get back to the Britney thing. Do you recall a long time ago he did a Barbara Walters?
Yes, that's what.
And she asked him flat out. Britney says that she's been a virgin, and he goes, sure.
That's the interview that I was referencing a couple minutes ago.
Oh, that interview.
Yes,
okay.
That's the one I'm referencing. He had his little curly hair and he leaned in the camera. He's like, sure.
What a little
It's like you
twerp.
You know what? I can't leave this on a bad note, but you know what? He really does it.
He can suck it. But the thing is, he made me not even watch the whole damn Super Bowl.
You wasn't gonna watch the Super Bowl. Don't try to sit up here act like you was all about the sports. Okay. Who was even playing? You got 5 seconds. 5.
They were green and blue.
3.
Eagles.
2.
Flying
1.
Patriots.
Okay.
Yes.
You get nothing for that, but whatever. But listen, I'm just saying, don't act like you be sitting up there watching the Super Bowl.
First of all, commercials.
Yes, the commercials.
These companies pay a lot of money for me to be entertained, and I wanted to be thoroughly entertained. But can we talk about how this mofo keep capitalizing on other people? I understand it was in Memphis, correct?
What?
The Super Bowl?
No, Minnesota.
Okay, whatever. Something with M. Listen, and he lit up the sky purple, the city purple. Was that him or was that other people?
No, that's part of his show for Prince.
Little mother effer. But then he got all these, he got the cymbal talking. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand him. Constantly capitalizing on other people. And then he tries to get the country music fans coming in, talking about he's a huge Johnny Cash, and then he did that amazing duet with Chris Stapleton. But I gotta give it to Chris Stapleton because he's fantastic. But anyway, I just feel like this dude keeps capitalizing on the fortunes and misfortunes of others, and he keeps getting away with it. It's one thing to capitalize on people and misfortunes and things of that nature. It's another thing to not really take ownership and not really take responsibility for another person's downfall. Like, for real, I'm just not feeling him. I'm just not, like I said, even when you harken back to the post he made referencing his wife is hot, Me Too, it's like, what are you doing, bro? Now you're trying to like usurp the movement and try to make it like those two things don't even go together. Like, what are you even talking about? He's using the hashtag for searches.
It's just, yeah, I just
own it.
I just wasn't
own it.
All right, Lisa. But I'm just saying, it's really, he's someone that, just, he gets so much love and recognition, and I'm not there with it. But, hey, to each his own. It is what it is. And go from there.
All right.
Thanks for listening, and
as my therapist says, that's our time.
Bye.
Bye.